It's a beautiful day today and a beautiful day to read about some more Karens. And like it was in the last episode, I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful time. And if you guys enjoy, make sure you let me know down below and like and subscribe. And let's get into it. Enjoy, guys. Karen, do you need a friend? This is what I get for going to the store instead of ordering groceries to be delivered. By the way, this is not a new post. I just have this urge to read all the Karen stories. So with the corona stuff going on, I've been dutifully staying in my apartment like a decent human being and limiting any time I spend outside. Unfortunately, this has been hell on my partner's mental health and the depression is real. So I decided, screw it. We're both food boys and he loves cookies. There's a giant the next block over. So I get dressed, I put on my sweet Disney mask, go on Etsy, the designs are wonderful, and I head out to get my partner some cookies. Now for reference, my style is hobo chic, so sweatpants, sneakers, graphic t-shirt, and a hoodie. Keep that in mind. I go into Giant and I head for the cookie aisle. I'm considering if I want Oreos or if I want to be fancy and get some Pepperidge Farm. These are the important questions of life. When an older woman who is very short asks me if I can grab something for her off the top shelf, of course I say yes because she was nice enough to ask. I'm a simple guy. I hand her the item and I go back to my contemplation. As I decide to get both, I hear the ha-hum. I've worked in retail and I've worked food service, so I know the sound of a wild Karen when I hear one. Me, what's up? Karen, what's up? Is that how you treat? Now I have zero in the way of spoons and even less patience. Me, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to look at me and try that line of thinking again. Karen, who the F? Me, hey, let me tell you what we're not gonna do. I need you to woo and chill. I know you know better. Karen still looks mad but doesn't say anything. Me, now I can help you find an employee if you want, but what you will not do is yell at me. I'm only here to get some cookies. I point at my stomach. I'm a thick boy. Me, not that I need them. Karen cracks a smile. Gotcha. Me, but at this point I'm committed to this. I didn't choose thick life, it chose me. Karen starts to crack and laughs a little bit before all of a sudden tearing up. I'm 6 foot, 300 pounds and black. A crying Karen is a bit detrimental to my continued freedom. Me, you okay? Karen, yeah, it's just the first time I've laughed in a while. My husband's in the hospital. Me, the virus. Karen, yeah, me. I'm not sure if it means much coming from some cookie guy, but I hope he recovers. Karen smiled and then walked away. While she didn't apologize for popping off, I'm glad it didn't escalate any further. Her husband's condition doesn't excuse what I'm sure would have been an awful tirade, but it does serve as a reminder that stuff is bad for everybody. Oh, we're starting the episode with a wholesome post. That's so cute, OP. That was so unexpected, but I'm so happy we're starting the episode with this. Hell yeah. The next one is called Okay Karen, She's Fired. Happy now? I've just come back from a quick trip to the States via 2 days in Germany. Business, don't ask. So, of course, being British and having read so much about people's experiences in places like the Wall of Marts, well, I had to see one for myself. I'll admit I went to a load of other places, and I can't remember what uniforms people wore, so details are sparse in that respect. This story starts with me walking through Walmart, at once impressed with the range and the prices, and faintly horrified by some of the food. As I'm walking, I hear the dreaded harumphing of an approaching needy wild Karen. She wasn't looking at me, but at a teenage girl. Now the girl was wearing jeans, a jacket, and a handbag, and absolutely no uniform. This Karen starts whipping up a storm of demands and threats, and the poor girl seemed like she was about to cry. Something had to be done. I decided that I'd intervene, but before I'd taken 2 steps, a genuine bona fide suit-wearing legend arrived. And alright, I didn't know he was a legend immediately, so I am getting ahead of myself. Legend, booming over Karen's squawking diatribe. What seems to be the problem? Karen was taken aback by his voice, but soon regained hers and started complaining about everything the girl hadn't done, and how she should be fired, blah blah blah. The guy turns to the girl and says, right, I'm officially promoting you to customer. You're fired. Enjoy your shopping experience. The girl had clearly figured out what he was doing and couldn't stop grinning. The legend turns back to Karen and says, as the title suggests, she's fired. Are you happy now? Karen saw the girl still smiling and decided that she was even less happy, nearly shouting, but I wanted to get something or the other, and the legend stops it in her tracks and says, that's a customer that you're harassing. If you continue to harass her or any other customers in the store, I'll have those large men from security haul you out of the shop. Karen harumphed again, albeit more quietly, stuck her nose up in the air and stalked off. As she got to the end of the aisle, the teenager just burst out laughing, and it was such an infectious laugh the legend joined in. Brilliant. Wow, that's so funny. I love reading about Karens. I can't get enough of this sort of stuff. They're fun when they're wholesome, they're fun when they're not wholesome. It's so addicting. And yeah, shout out to this person in this story. The next one is called Karen Can't Understand Basic Kindness. This one's a generally wholesome story with a comedic Karen encounter. Amazing. When I was 17, I worked at McDonald's. Now, the fact fact that the red and black uniform of McDonald's looks nothing like the blue-centric Walmart uniform has little bearing on this story because, as we know, the only colors that Karen can see are beneath me and my reflection. So I was at Walmart after work, straight out of work. I was still in uniform and my hair was a mess, so I still had my McDonald's hat on. I swung by electronics to check out the games, and while I was looking at them, there was a pretty young kid, like 10, and his mother talking to an employee about what game he wanted to get. I overheard their whole conversation while looking at the games myself. He wanted a Pokemon game but didn't know which one to get. It was between Ruby and Emerald. The kid was clearly into Pokemon, but this was his first time getting one of the games because he just got his first Game Boy and he could only get one. His mum clearly had no idea, and the employee, a very pleasant older gentleman who didn't know beans about something like Pokemon, were trying to puzzle out the difference between the two games. I loved the kid's enthusiasm and totally understood his anxiety about wanting to get the right one. And since I could see his mother and the employee struggling, I went over and I politely interjected myself. As a big fan of the games, I knew an unhealthy amount about them. I explained the general difference between the games and I answered his questions about them, and he ended up going with Emerald. His biggest concern was making sure that he could get a tall chick. After the very relieved adults headed off to the register to check out, I was about to leave when an older woman with her husband got my attention and asked, "I need help with the TVs." I responded, "Sorry, I don't really know anything about TVs." "Well, why not? Aren't you expected to?" She huffed back. I realized that in spite of my uniform, she thought I was an employee. I laughed and I told her, "Sorry, I don't work here. I work for McDonald's." She huffed again and said, "Well, you were helping those people just a minute ago." "Yeah, because I knew the answer and I was able to help." She snorted. "Well, why would you do that if you don't work here?" I was genuinely baffled by the question, and I just looked at her and said, "To be nice?" "Well, I don't know why you would do something like that." I just stared at her like, how do you even respond to that? After a moment of silence, she finally asked, "So can you help me with the TVs or not?" I just said no and walked away. I don't quite understand what about basic human kindness is so confusing, but there it sits. But yeah, the little boy got his tall chick, and at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Oh my god, that's so confusing. Yeah, how do you even respond to somebody like this? What about this do you not understand? Oh, you don't understand any of it? Okay, bye. Like, what the hell sort of situation is that? Oh, you don't work here, but you helped somebody, so that means you do work here? No, it just meant I was trying to help somebody because I knew what they were trying to do. Oh, so why can't you help me with the TV? Like, are you listening? What do you mean? Like, it's so confusing how they're so confused. What do they not understand? The next one is called I Snapped on a Karen. Recently found me a new job that I really enjoy. I worked both my old job at the restaurant and my new one for a while until I was fully able to start the new job. It's been a couple of weeks since I quit the restaurant and I went in to pick up my last check. They're doing to-go orders only, like a lot of places are doing right now. I went up to the cashier station and my friend was the only person working and one cook, so I just started talking to her about what had been going on and my new job and stuff while she got my check from under the counter. The kitchen yelled, "Order up!" That echoed through the whole empty restaurant, so she went to grab the order and I stayed at the front waiting for her to come back. I was standing next to the cashier stand, not behind it. A car pulled up and parked in front of the restaurant in a handicapped spot, and I noticed they didn't have any stickers to park there. I recognized the lady from when I used to work here. She's a total Karen biatch, and every single person working here hated her. She always had many complaints and almost never tipped. She would come in with a group of 2 or 3 more Karens and run the waitresses around for 2 hours and then not tip. She even made a new girl cry one day, so I started to walk to the back to get my friend, and so Karen wouldn't say anything to me. But she obviously recognized me from when I worked here. Some of this is paraphrased because I was so angry that I don't really remember exactly word for word. Karen screaming red in the face, "I want a refund! I'm so fed up with you all not knowing how to do your job." Me, "Let me get you somebody to help." Karen, "No, you will give me my money back right this second. I'm never coming back here again. That girl said that she checked the order, but it's wrong. I was here a few minutes ago and I ordered grilled catfish and there's no tartar sauce in it. How am I supposed to eat fish without any tartar sauce? And I never got the Dr. Pepper I paid for." She looked like she was about to explode with anger. I was starting to feel angry too. Karen, "And I drove here twice already. I want money for the gas I wasted." Me, "Okay, let me go get somebody to help you." I will admit I said it in a snappy way. "I do not appreciate anybody talking to me like that." She noticed and immediately started cussing me out, and my friend came out from the back asking what happened. Karen starts yelling at her and I went to the back. I quickly asked the cook for a tartar sauce while I made a Dr. Pepper. I then walked back up to the Karen and she was still demanding a refund and $50 for gas. There's no way she used $50 of gas. She's insulting my friend and saying I was rude to her. I just want to say what I'm about to do some of you might think is wrong, but after working years in customer service and having to put up with people like her, I saw this as a once in a lifetime opportunity to finally give them a taste of their own medicine. I mean, what are they gonna do, fire me? I don't work there anymore. Me, "Nobody here freaking likes you. You're the biggest piece of crap I've ever met." She looked at me wide-eyed, frozen frozen in shock. You really think it's okay to just come in here and not tip and then treat everybody like they're worthless? Why are you like this? Always such a nasty attitude, thinking you're better than everybody. I'm sorry that your life is so freaking miserable that you constantly have to put others down. You're a biatch. Here's your stuff and you can shove it up your ass. I set the tartar sauce and the drink on the counter. Not gonna lie, I really thought about throwing it at her, and then I just walked out with my check before she could say a word to me, although I think she was stunned silent. No one probably has ever talked to her narcissistic ass like that before. I went home and I started telling my boyfriend about it, and before I could even get a few sentences out, the owner of the store is calling me. He wanted me to apologize and I said no, so now I'm forever banned from going back there. My friend said that the Karen threw the biggest fit ever after I left, screaming for the manager and the owner, and she almost called the police. Really happy I didn't throw that drink at her now. I did feel bad for leaving her with that mess, but she said she was thoroughly entertained by the situation and she wishes she could have cussed her out too. I really wish I said more to Karen, because on my way home I thought of all kinds of stuff I could have said. I think this has been building in me for a while and I finally snapped. Honestly, I don't regret a single word I said to her. Yeah, like the top comment says, don't regret it. I'm sorry you got banned. I think that was a really crappy thing to do when you were just defending the people who you used to work with. The fact that the owner doesn't see that means they care more about a single mean, rude AF customer than the rest of their employees. Yeah, 100%. I don't feel like they should have banned you, OP. Maybe they didn't want to, but they had to or something. It sounded like they understood and they weren't upset at you or something. But yeah, the Karen definitely needed to hear that. Like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't treat people like this. It'd be a good thing if they learnt from stuff like this, but I feel like they don't. The next one is called I wasted a Karen's time and maybe broke her brain. So this happened last Thursday. I was at Home Depot getting jumper cables. I was wearing a blue shirt, so no idea why this Karen thought I worked there, but ours is not to reason why. I'm looking around for jumper cables, my brain kind of in low power mode, when I hear, tell me where the fuses are. I do a half turn and say, what? This woman about mid-50s yells at me, speak English, you insert Mexican slur here. Keep in mind, I'm white, like super white, so I admit to having some voice acting skills and a twisted sense of humor. So I answered her in a Mexican accent that was maybe one step above Speedy Gonzalez. In my defense, I didn't have time to prepare a better voice. I say, oh sorry, Mila Punta, how can I help you? Where are the fuses? I need them for my house. Me, are they for your house or for your car? Her, I just said they're for my house. Me, okay, I can show you. I then led this woman around the store. As a rule, Home Depot is huge. I'd get to one aisle, look around and say something like, oh no, they must have moved them. They must be over here. Good thing I was wearing a mask to hide my crap-eating grin. After maybe 10 or 12 minutes of this, she finally calls me out, saying how I'm the worst ignorant employee here. And to be fair, she had a point. She then, of course, demanded to talk to a manager. I said, he's at the front desk, but I can come with her because I have to keep helping customers. Her, where's your name tag? I'm gonna get you fired. Me, oh no, I forgot my name tag. Me llamo Miguel with a Y. She stormed off. I almost forgot to get jumper cables before I left. I did get them, then headed to the self-checkout. When I get to the checkout, Karen is still yelling at the front desk. I'm barely keeping it together as she yells about Miguel with a Y. Karen sees me and points, that's him, Miguel with a Y. Fire him now. Then the best part, the manager starts to reprimand me. I mean, how bad is employee turnover when he doesn't even know somebody doesn't work there? I then answer in my normal flat Midwest white guy voice, sorry, what's this about? I don't work here and I came in for jumper cables. The manager looked confused and didn't really say anything. Her brain just stopped, I guess. Karen hears my voice, starts screaming not even real words. Did an angry Karen dance. I didn't burst out laughing, which I think means I should get an Oscar or something. I buy the cable, say to no one really, wow, this never happens at Lowe's, and I walk out. Why did these people convince themselves that random customers work at a place? Like, what do you mean? Like, oh yeah, you definitely work here. OP was wearing a blue shirt, nowhere even close to a uniform, but no, you definitely work there, OP. And also, you didn't even say anything. They chose you as their target and they start yelling at you. Where are the bloody fuses? That's scary that you can be shopping and then randomly somebody just starts yelling at you because they think you work there. I love reading this sort of stuff, but it's definitely concerning. The next one is called Karen follows me into the men's restroom. A few weeks ago, I was at my local big box bookstore looking for good clearance items before the store closed permanently. The dead mall it was attached to is being demolished. The store has no dress code, but the employees do wear lanyards, and I wasn't. So I was browsing around my preferred sci-fi section when I realized I needed to use the nearby restroom, so I headed in that direction, which happened to also be next to the mid-store customer service counter. Karen notices me, positions herself directly in front of me, and blocking my path to the urinary destination. I don't know why you don't keep that desk staffed, but I really need your help finding my book. Are you gonna help me or not? Not, I say. Remembering the urgency of my business, and I step around her with a variation of I don't work here, continuing to my destination, thinking that'll be the end of the encounter. It's not, to be be? I hear her voice rising in pitch and volume, on its way to full Karen Banshee as she literally follows me into the men's room, and I'm convinced she was about to grab my arm and pull me around to face her. Being conscious of social norms about public exposure, I made it into a stall and I locked the door for privacy. That didn't stop her from knocking on the door and threatening to get me fired before she heard the really solid stream hit the water, and I'm convinced realised for the very first time what it was she'd done. I heard her embarrassed sounding squeak and huff, and she hightailed it out of there. I finished my thing and I washed my hands, and I came out to witness her being escorted out of the store by a properly lanyarded employee. I only caught the tail end of the conversation where Karen stated she was never coming here again, and the employee had a classic response, "Neither am I, we're closing." Yeah, like this comment says, it's so cute to hear a lot of these stories end with, "I'm never coming here again." Aw, you mean that, Karen? Promise? Pinky swear. I thank you from the bottom of my foot. Yeah, like, oh no, you're never gonna come back? What an awful shame. You're telling me we don't have to deal with you again? Oh no. What a tragedy. But yeah, once again, a beautiful story, and I'm excited for the next one. Karen recommended I be fired from the dollar store. I was in a dollar store trying to check out, but delayed because Karen was busy complaining to the cashier about the quality of the products in the dollar store. To which I said, "Karen, if you don't like the quality here, then go somewhere more upscale like Walmart, or if you got the budget, Target." She then asked for a manager, because that's what Karens do. The manager came, and for the next solid 2 minutes she was complaining to the manager about how her staff were very rude, and they were suggesting that she should shop at Walmart or Target, and how insane it is to hire staff that promotes the competition. The cashier is smirking and I'm smiling from ear to ear. Karen finishes it off by saying, "If I were you, I'd fire such an employee." To which the manager said, "Which employee said that?" To which Karen and the cashier all pointed at me, standing there with a Coke and a bag of chips. And then the manager goes, "He's not an employee." To which Karen says, "Then why is he here?" Manager looks at me and looks at her and goes, "Buying stuff?" Oh, that's so funny. Why are you there, Karen? You're doing the exact same thing. Did you forget what shopping is? Wait a second, you came here to buy stuff? You came here to do what I'm doing? No, that doesn't make sense. I don't even know what I'd do if I met somebody this confusing. The next one is called My How the Tables Have Turned in This Restaurant. I used to work at a fast food place, similar to Chipotle, but not Chipotle. There was one regular customer, we'll call her Karen. Karen and her family always ate in the restaurant, made a huge mess, would even say to her kids, "Don't worry, they get paid to clean your mess." Whenever she was done eating, she'd make a fake complaint just to get free food. The franchise owner of the store didn't want any trouble, so he always refunded her. I quit this store about 1.5 years ago. The other day I went there as a customer. Some of the people who I worked with were still there. As I sat down to eat, Karen walked in and sighed. As always, she brought her family. However, today was different. Today we were out of a particular sauce that happened to be Karen's favorite, and Karen of course got mad. The owner wasn't in today, by the way. I don't remember word for word the conversation, so I'm paraphrasing here. Karen, "This is an outrage. How do you not have my favorite sauce? Get me your manager." Manager, "We apologize that we ran out. We will have more tomorrow when our truck order comes in." Karen, "But I'm here now. This is why you guys suck. The food is terrible." Me, "Well, Karen, why do you come here then?" Karen looks at the manager. "Are you gonna let him talk to me like that? Fire your employee." Me smiling, "I don't work here anymore, Karen. I quit 1.5 years ago. I'm a customer today, and I'm gonna say something that everybody here has wanted to tell you forever. Screw you, Karen. You cause everybody here more stress than any other customer that walks in that door." At this point, Karen has a shocked look on her face, and her family leave. All of the staff laugh and they thank me. Hopefully she'll never walk through that door again. Yeah, I know it's immature, but I know what it's like being on the other side of the counter dealing with crappy customers like her. Yeah, and that's so understandable, OP. Also, I feel like that's enough for today. That was a beautiful episode, but we need something wholesome. That doodle guy won. So much struggle. I hope it gets better. Universe, give me a sign. Cute. And the universe answered, "Stay strong, little birdie, you got this. Somewhere in the world there's a tree that sprouted the same day that you were born, and it's been growing along with you." Cute. Yeah, like the top comment says, that's oddly comforting. Wherever that tree is, I do hope it's doing good. Yeah, shout out to our birth trees. Oh yeah, this one. "Here's that moving box you asked for. Where are you moving to anyway?" Into the box. Oh, cute. The little house looks perfect. Happily sitting at the window. That one's by the Little World of Liz. You drive past a car. There's a dog inside. The dog makes eye contact with you. The dog's smiling. Oh my god. Best day ever. No, but for real, that is a good feeling. And on that beautiful note, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you did and you want to see more episodes like this, make sure you like and subscribe. And the comment of the day today goes to Kitty Future 1069. This is the perfect video to listen to when releasing a mouse that you caught in your dorm room. Well, I'm so happy that it is. To be honest, that's a sentence I never felt like I'd say, but I'm happy I did. And yeah, thank you for watching the videos. I'm happy they I can help. There's a lot more videos to come. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you for all the support, guys. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!